Look at this happy little child. How did he go from carefree and determined to isolated, shopping addicted, and deranged? Hi, I'm Brenner, and this is a video about how COVID-19 has affected me. COVID-19 first hit, I wasn't particularly concerned. I just figured it was going to be a pretty bad flu season. Most of the data coming from China kind of suggested that it wasn't going to be too bad. At least that's what I had thought. Any mortality rate data that had come out at the time was showing that it was very unlikely that anyone in my age group was going to be affected by COVID. As everybody knows, COVID quickly got out of hand. We went into a statewide lockdown, and during that time I went up to Coeur d'Alene. School quickly transitioned to online only, which helped make the transition to Coeur d'Alene a lot easier. However, a few internships and then a public health conference was canceled due to COVID, which kind of left me scrambling, looking for more internship opportunities to make my summer productive. I did actually end up finding a really great internship opportunity at the Merriman Health Clinic. I got to shadow a bunch of different practitioners and be parts of areas I didn't really think I was going to be part of, especially during like the COVID response team. And I got to work in the laboratory a lot. It ended up being a really great internship. In August, class started again, and I moved back down to Moscow. Even though classes were online, or at least all of my classes were, I still had a lab job, so I needed to be in Moscow to do that. However, COVID, as I think it gave me a lot of free time. The free time I got from COVID allowed me to kind of work on myself personally. It allowed me to kind of explore some hobbies and little passion projects I got to do. So I will have a little montage of the little things I got to work on. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Blind. What do you call me when all of my fish die because of a heater malfunction? Calloused and cold. An overwhelming sense of responsibility and a small bout of baby fever have given rise to an interest in fish keeping. The free time COVID gave me has allowed me to make this a reality. Unfortunately, due to a tragic heater malfunction, only a few of my fish remain, including a couple puffers, a minnow, some snails, and shrimp. Online classes and Zoom lectures can be a bit tedious. I like to do this little exercise to help get my brain juices flowing again. The free time COVID has given me has allowed me to rethink my diet and start eating a lot better. This meal that I'm filming is one of the many healthy meals I've learned how to cook for myself during COVID. This recipe dates back to 17th century France, when many French families were without food for weeks. This recipe is called the ratatouille. Be it an emotionally unavailable mother, a group of struggling street ruffians, or a traumatic run-in with a faulty vending machine. Whatever the cause, a hole has formed in my heart that I've tried to fill with shopping. The boredom and alone time I've experienced during COVID has only functioned to exacerbate this addiction. And as it turns out, being a consumerist cog in a capitalist system is not morally fulfilling. Knock knock, who's there? Could it be the consequence of my actions? Shockingly, impulsive spending has led to the purchase of some, by the strictest legal definition, unnecessary clothing items. COVID has given me the motivation to start selling some of these unnecessary clothing items to help pay off an assassin to kill my father. I won't lie, sometimes it's a hard sell. My family wasn't too affected by COVID. Both my mother and my stepfather were able to work, through the pandemic, well, continuing through the pandemic. My siblings absolutely love the extra time off school that they get. My stepdad did catch COVID, and he gave it to my mother, but neither of them had any severe symptoms. I think that my stepfather took a day off of online work. I've still continuously tested negative, so I'm waiting for the vaccine. As far as how COVID affected my school life, I think like everybody, I really missed in-person lectures, but overall, classes were a lot easier. Though COVID didn't affect me all that much, when it did affect me, it was generally positive. For instance, my internships being canceled, I ended up getting a better one because I was kind of pushed to find one. I know that other people weren't as lucky as me. A lot of them lost someone close to them. They, were laid off. They had income loss that was very substantial because they had to quarantine so long, and they had to just change their very way of life. Having more free time was great for myself because I was able to kind of explore more interests that I hadn't been able to explore in the past. In summation, all jokes aside, I think I really benefited from COVID. It gave me a chance to just kind of take a step back and breathe and get to look into myself. Even though I was doing school, even though I was working, it still gave me a lot of free time to kind of see who I was. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I'd like to give a big shout out to Haley, who helped me film, and to Rat. Rest in peace.